डाउनलोड करें।
Welcome to News9 Mediaverse, and you are watching On Point with me. Another scam is being alleged in Delhi, which could add to the woes of the Arvind Kejriwal and Aam Aadmi Party. Now, this is about the fake lab tests on the ghost patients, and it's being alleged that it has happened in the Mohalla Clinics. The Mohalla Clinic was supposed to be one of the best touted policy of the Aam Aadmi Party. It is being alleged. Showcase, absolutely, Brajesh. It is being alleged that the payments of the crores of rupees were made to private labs in exchange for fake lab tests on patients, which never existed in reality. The Delhi's Lieutenant Governor VK Saxena has ordered a CBI inquiry. This adds to the list of the scam: liquor scam, education scam, transport issues. The Aam Aadmi Party has been accused of. Now, this is a big issue. Aam Aadmi Party came on anti-corruption campaign, not even campaign, crusade. It was not a campaign, it was a crusade. And I barged into political arena, smashed Congress Party. That's the word, smashed Congress Party in Delhi on the issue of corruption. It almost became a national alternative. But then it is restricted today in Punjab and Delhi. In the last 10 years, they have been accused of multiple corruption issues. Now, is this a political ploy whereby every corrupt person is found in the opposition, or has something gone wrong in terms of governance issue? Now, it's a matter of debate whether ED or CBI is being misused, or there are cases that needs to be investigated. But before I take you to my subject matter experts and Brijesh, who's with me in the studio, let me take you through some of the details, some pointers as to what issues I am talking about. And then I'll introduce you to my guests who are there in studio, and some of them are going to join me. Now, what has happened? Delhi LG VK Saxena has ordered a CBI probe into the Mohalla Clinic operations. That is one. Issue is fake lab tests performed on the ghost patients in the Mohalla clinics. This is something which has been part and parcel of the investigation which was done by people who are part of the Delhi administration. So, this is not a outside investigation. This is part of the internal investigation which has made its way to the press. And the Delhi government paid hundreds of crores to the private lab for the fake tests. That is what that report says. So, the matter will be investigated. The courts will need to be involved. So, there is no judgment here, let me tell you. But these are the preliminary investigation which has taken place on paper by the officers. Now, the fake patient records were made using non-existent mobile numbers. That's the allegation in those papers. And then, non-medical staff allegedly prescribed medication to patients. Medical officer in charge marked fraudulent attendance through pre-recorded video. FIRs lodged against staff of 7 Mohalla clinics in September 2023. Lab testing data from Agulus Diagnostics and Metropolis Healthcare reviewed. Fake numbers reportedly used for registration of patients. These are the basic details, the nitty-gritty of the issue. Because Mohalla clinics was supposed to be poor friendly, medicine in your neighbor, something like a primary healthcare unit in a rural area, whereby you have accessible first aid medicine available to you. So, you don't need to run to hospitals, and duplication of number of patients at these Mohalla clinics. Now, the issue is, how did this happen? Now, 11,657 records where 0 was entered as patient's mobile number. 8,251 records where mobile numbers were blank. These are records. 3,092 records were where 999999999 was entered as patient's mobile number. These are the specific issues I'm getting into. Foreign records where mobile number starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 999 record where mobile numbers were repeated 15 times or more. So basically, that's where the investigation led. And now on this issue, I'm joined by my input editor Brijesh Pandey, who's there with me in the studio. I'm joined by Siddharth Sharma, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party. I'm also joined by Bhanu Chandra Nagarajan, political analyst. Thank you so much. But before I go to Siddharth Sharma and he takes the cudgels on behalf of the Aam Aadmi Party, Brijesh, can you set the pace of this debate for us?
I think, it's a very interesting development which has taken place. The reason I call it interesting is that, it's another allegation of corruption against Aam Aadmi Party. B, against, Mohalla Clinic, which was touted as one of the achievement of Arvind Kejriwal government, where they made affordable healthcare, which reached out to millions of poor in Delhi, and which was seen as, your first stop before you head to any hospital or in case of any emergency. And then that was touted to be, that was said to be, a very successful model as far as Delhi is concerned. Now, what has happened is that this particular report, opens a whole plethora of problem, for the way Mohalla clinics were operated, because the numbers which have been shown on your screen clearly points to discrepancies which needs to be audited, which needs to be investigated as to what led to these numbers, and if these numbers were correct, then what exactly were the authorities doing? Okay. Number one. Number two is that, it has further led to slugfest between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. There's already a front which is opened with the EDs, sending notice to Arvind Kejriwal appearing before them. Third notice was sent. This particular, news break couldn't have come at a more opportune time for the Bharatiya Janata Party, I would say. Okay. And this symbol of Arvind Kejriwal governance, this was one of the things. Okay. Now, before I go to Siddharth Sharma, let me play out bite of the BJP leader, and then the floor is with Mr. Sharma. Let's read into the accusation.
2022 में हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी ने इसके ऊपर अपना ऐतराज दर्ज कराया था, लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार ने कोई चिंता नहीं की। अब ये तो स्पष्ट हो गया है कि जो प्राइवेट लैब से जांच करवाई जा रही थी उसमें एक बड़ा घोटाला हुआ है, और मैं चाहूँगा कि दिल्ली के हेल्थ मिनिस्टर अपनी नैतिक जिम्मेवारी लेते हुए अपने पद से तुरंत त्यागपत्र दें।
Okay, now Mr. Sharma, your response to the documents which have found themselves in public domain, and how does your party respond to these new round of accusation and the investigation which the Lieutenant Governor has ordered?
Well, the larger point here is that whenever government goes on a delivery spree to millions and billions of people, there are bound to be certain discrepancies, and that is what there is a checks and balance system in the Indian Constitution, which is called as the CAG. If you go back a few months, our present health minister, as on 20th September, he himself said that in Mohalla clinics, two things are used by the people. One is the medicines, other are the consumables also. So he had asked that all the consumables and the medicines, they have to be audited by the CAG. And as you rightly pointed out, there were a few cases in which the doctors were not attending the Mohalla clinics, yet showing the app was showing them as attended. So, as you know, in Delhi, the bureaucracy lies with the central government. The health minister of Delhi has clearly written to the LG and the bureaucracy, that is the chief secretary, that is the health secretary, he is the highest authority, that these people have to be suspended. They have not yet been suspended as of now. Now, as far as CBI inquiry is concerned, I'm just here showing you something.
Point. Mr. Sharma, before we go to the other point, I think you have made one point. Are you saying the responsibility of these discrepancies lie with the central government? Did you say that?
I think I made it very clear. I'll repeat it at the cost of repetition. The present health minister of Delhi, Mr. Saurabh Bharadwaj, as on 20th September, came to know about these kind of discrepancies and very clearly mentioned it in writing to the LG and the health secretary, that certain people have to be suspended pending inquiry. They are not yet suspended because the health secretary does not report to the Delhi government. He reports to the central government. Now it is up to the central government and the LG to decide. Now, as far as I was coming back to the point of CBI inquiry, this is a report. This says that 7,50,000 Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Yojana scheme people have been giving away false Aadhaar numbers or false mobile numbers. This is the similar case that has happened in Mohalla clinics that you just showed. So is there a CBI inquiry happening for this? No. So the point here is that if there are any discrepancies, that's why I made a context clear that when a government goes on a huge delivery spree, be it Pradhan Mantri Arogya Yojana or Mohalla Clinic, there are bound to be certain discrepancies, and for those discrepancies there is the checks and balances called the CAG. Delhi government is one of the only governments. Just a few weeks ago, if you remember, we ourselves asked for the Delhi Jal Board audit for the last 15 years. So there's nothing wrong in it, and the fact of the matter is that since 2014, since the BJP has come into power, the number of CAG reports being sought by the central government have progressively diminished. Earlier it was 60, this year it was 22. Why is it so? Even just I showed you the screenshot here of a newspaper report. Just a few weeks ago, Ayushman Bharat, there are 7,50,000 as per the CAG
but
report.
Isn't it very
there are
unfortunate, Mr.
7,50,000.
Sharma,
So why isn't there a CBI inquiry
fair
for
enough,
that?
fair enough. You know, that's the point you're making. But isn't it unfortunate that Mohalla Clinic was supposed to be as the one of the best policies initiated by AAP, and in the process of delivery, such massive discrepancies have come?
I don't think there are massive discrepancies. I think there are exceptions happening to every rule. Whenever you make a road traffic rule, there are going to be certain violations. But those violations doesn't mean that everybody is a violator. That is what my point is. The Delhi government's health minister was up to the situation. He came to know about it. These are the discrepancies. These are the Mohalla clinics where the doctors are not attending. These are the Mohalla clinics, and these are the things. For example, I'll give you an example. There is something called as an oximeter. You go to any chemist and you find it for 1,250 rupees, maximum 1,500 rupees. During COVID, the central government gave away 2 oximeters to Delhi government. We had to purchase 2 oximeters from the central government for 1,25,000 rupees. Isn't it also there's a need to be audited? Machines that were called as ventilators turned out to be BiPAP, just oxygen generating machines, were sent under PM Cares. Please remember, these came under PM Cares fund. These were delivered to Delhi government in the name of ventilators. Aren't they also supposed to be audited?
Fair
by
enough.
the
Mr.
CAG?
Sharma, I gave you enough time. Fair enough. We are not ending this discussion. I am also joined by Shaina NC, spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you, madam, for joining me on this show. And today, as you would know, we are talking about this decision taken by the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, and he has sanctioned a probe. Your opening comments on this probe on Mohalla clinics.
So the LG of Delhi has been working on this case for the longest time. We do know that the irregularities of not just 7 Mohalla clinics, as you are saying, but multiples, and the scam amounts to crores and crores of rupees. Now, for those who are constantly in denial mode, just playing photo optics and theatrics, I would say if there is substantiated proof to show that you are absolved of all wrongdoing, then please come out in the open. This is not a battlefront. This is not a vendetta politics. This is clearly to show the irregularities found in the labs. There were tests which were conducted. There were patients that were questioned. And the Honorable LG is a man of repute. He is not here to play just to the gallery. So if the AAP party has been so corrupt and pretends to be holier than thou, then it must come into the public domain and let the public be aware of the crores and crores of taxpayers' money that has been siphoned off.
Okay, wonderful. I'm also joined by Bhanu. Bhanu, I'm really sorry. It's time for a short break. I'll come to you. Both the spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party and Bharatiya Janata Party continues to stay with me. In studio is with me my input editor Brijesh Pandey. But it's time for a short break.
Ram's Ayodhya rebuilt. Ramlala's Pran Pratishtha. Countdown to January 22nd. Dateline Ayodhya. Catch the mega coverage only on News9 Live.
So now, before I go to Shaina and see, Bhanu, your take on this fresh salvo from the government on Aam Aadmi Party. Do you think that they're really in trouble? You know, the sheen which they had, crusaders against corrupt practices, it seems to be wearing off. The Deputy Chief Minister is inside, another minister is inside.
See, the first thing that came to my mind when I read this, Kartikeya, was the big bad days of socialist India in the 1980s, where everything about PSUs were corrupt. The procurement was corrupt, the recruitment was corrupt, the product quality was corrupt, the marketing was corrupt, everything was corrupt. And that's why we celebrated the liberalization of 1991, taken up under P.V. Narasimha Rao and Manmohan Singh. So this exactly is playing out in a different era, and especially in the healthcare sector, in the Mohalla Clinics of Aam Aadmi Party. So the thing is, you actually played out the numbers, and they sound fishy. And they were apparently the clinics are open from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and within that 540 tests were conducted. How is it even possible, right? And this is not the first time such a discrepancy is happening. I learned that in 2017 there was another vigilance report that was initiated, which said that the doctors were allocating on average 36 seconds per patient. Basically, they were seeing 2 patients a minute, right? So I don't know what happened to that vigilance inquiry. And this was actually captured in the Washington Post. Vivek Badwa, a very reputed doctor, who wrote glowingly in the Washington Post on Mohalla Clinic, learnt about this, and then he actually redacted his statement. He said that the health minister of Delhi had misguided him. So the thing is, this is a serious issue, and I think an inquiry of sort is required. And the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson said that the minister himself, Saurabh Bharadwaj, had taken cognizance of this issue in September and initiated something. But but the governor's or the LG's office would have been looking at it for a while now, and when they started, when the government would have felt that there was some sort of inquiry coming, the minister sort of initiated something on its own. So I think like this calls for an inquiry. Let's see what comes out of it. But in this era of technology, there should not be corruption of any kind. Unless you're an extremely competent government or you are turning a blind eye to corruption, this should not have happened. So I think the inquiries, CBI inquiry is called for. Let's see what comes out of it.
Now, since the man in the action is the health minister himself, before I go to Shaina INC, let me play out the bite of the minister, what he has to say on this issue.
मोहल्ला क्लिनिक हो, दवाइयाँ हो, अब वो दवाई ठीक है या उसका मानक खराब है, या मोहल्ला क्लिनिक के अंदर कोई आदमी अपना फोन नंबर एंटर कर रहा है या वो फोन नंबर की जगह 000 डाल रहा है या कोई गलत नंबर डाल रहा है, ये काम तो अफसरों का देखने का है। ओवरऑल इसके ऊपर डीजीएचएस होती है, डीजीएचएस के ऊपर हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी होते हैं। ये लोगों का काम है कि इन सब चीजों के अंदर अपने लेवल पे रैंडम चेक्स करते रहें। अभी डीजीएचएस किसने लगाई है? हमने तो नहीं लगाई। ये हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी किसने लगाए हैं? हमने तो नहीं लगाए। कौन इन्हें ढूंढ के लाया है? ये आप सब जानते हैं। उन्हीं के ढूंढे हुए लोग गड़बड़ी कर रहे हैं और वो ही उसकी जांच करा रहे हैं। तो आप तो अपनी ही जांच करा रहे हो, हमारी कोई ना करा रहे हो। आपके द्वारा लगाए हुए लोगों की जांच आप ही करा रहे हो, तो आप तो अपनी खुद की जांच करा रहे हो, हमारी क्या करा रहे हो? या तो हमसे पूछ के लगा रहे हो आप। हम तो लिखित में दे चुके हैं कि इनको हटाओ। हम तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट में कह चुके हैं कि इस हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी को, डीजीएचएस को हटाओ। आप ही नहीं हटा रहे। ये पहला मैं भ्रष्टाचार देख रहा हूं जिसके अंदर भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहती है हजारों करोड़ के नुकसान हो गया, सैकड़ों करोड़ लुट गए, सब कुछ बर्बाद हो गया, भारतीय जनता पार्टी कहती है, और कार्रवाई किसी के ऊपर नहीं कर रही। छोटे छोटे मामलों में तुरंत अफसरों की नौकरी चली जाती है, तुरंत। एक नेग्लिजेंस से किसी की मृत्यु हो जाए तो तुरंत सस्पेंशन हो जाती है, यहां आप कह रहे हो कि हजारों लोगों को नकली दवाइयां दे दी, आपने किसी को सस्पेंड ही नहीं किया, आपने किसी पे कार्रवाई नहीं की।
Shaina, the minister is saying that, how can Aam Aadmi Party be blamed? They have nothing to do with the appointment of these officers, and nor they report to them. They report to an agency which is part of the central structure.
I want to ask 2-3 questions. If there were irregularities happening, if the Aam Aadmi Party pretends to be so holier than thou, and it comes into the public domain, should they not have a probe? If you are the chief minister, are you absolved of wrongdoing? Who is running Delhi government? Is it us or is it them? The LG not only questioned the so-called prescribed medicines that were being distributed, but also the crores and crores of taxpayers' money, which shows that this is probably one of the biggest scams. If you have a scenario where the chief minister and his health minister say that this is central government, I want to say then you have no right to be in power. If you are going to absolve yourself when it suits you and choose to be in power when it suits you, then we know that the actual person who is suffering is the citizen and the people of New Delhi. If in a situation such as this, that you have prescribed medicines, you have Mohalla clinics that are fighting this kind of irregularity, and you are tom-tomming that you are the sole creator of Mohalla clinics, then you need to be jolly well accountable. Let the CBI probe, let the investigation happen. Doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani will all be in the public domain. So why are you so scared of this CBI probe?
Sharma, can you just respond to it and then Brijesh will come in? Can you please respond to it? What? Yes, okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. I think what the BJP spokesperson clearly said that the shoe is firmly on the other foot now. She has, it's a mea culpa from the BJP essentially, when they say that their own appointed people, whom Aam Aadmi Party's Delhi state government has clearly said, not just on paper, but also in the Supreme Court, that these people have been found to be in dereliction of duty and they have to be suspended, and they've still not been suspended. And the boss of every bureaucrat in Delhi, as per the own BJP's law, is the central government. And the reputed, the so-called reputed LG of Delhi, which the BJP spokesperson says, and he is not taking action. That means it is a clear-cut case of mea culpa by the BJP. They are investigating themselves. In fact, if we were the whistleblowers here, like a very good monitor, very good parent, we saw through the things that our children or the delivery mechanism is failing at XYZ points, and we highlighted it to the LG, and these are the people who are doing dereliction of duty. How come as of today they are still in service? Isn't it necessary that being a healthcare provider where people's lives are at stake, these people had to be suspended forthwith? Why are they still in power as of today when the BJP's law itself says that every bureaucrat in Delhi is under them? Then why haven't they suspended him?
Mr. Sharma, I'll also have a question for Shaina, which I'll ask after this. But Mr. Sharma, you say that you have been the whistleblower. How long has this investigation been going on? Is a question which should come to mind. How long has this investigation been going on by the DGHSC, and when did they came to this conclusion that that this corruption has been committed? And when did Saurabh Bhardwaj wrote a letter to the LG asking for a inquiry?
On 20th September, the Health Minister of Delhi clearly informed the LG that these are the people in dereliction of duty. This case is also, this stand of the Delhi Health Minister is also on record in the Supreme Court. And again, I'll highlight the point here whenever somebody uses a Mohalla Clinic, it's not just the medicine, but there are consumables also. So isn't it also necessary that the oximeters that were sold to Delhi government at 1,25,000 rupees for 2 oximeters?
But since when it has been? Because, the report hints at I get it. You said that thing before this. But when did the investigation started? The investigation is pointing at somewhere in the range of 2022. So you think that you were the whistleblower on already an investigation being underway and as being alleged by the BJP, that when you saw the writing on the wall, you chose to become a whistleblower?
It's very clear now that the timeline clearly suggests that Aam Aadmi Party's health minister was the first person who went on site, found these kind of discrepancies and people in dereliction of duty, and informed the constitutional head of Delhi, that is the LG, that these are the XYZ people in dereliction of duty. Why aren't you please take action against them? And as of today, if they have not been suspended, and this is a healthcare matter, it is for the BJP to answer. It is their employees, na? It is their employees. If I'm riding an Uber,
Mr. Sharma, you used the word whistleblower. Shaina, are they the whistleblowers? I mean to say, this is the first time I'm pretty stunned by the use of phrase. The allegation is on the Mohalla Clinic and they're saying that they are the whistleblowers.
So I'm totally in confused mode, because a whistleblower is normally the person who blows the trumpet and says that this is the wrongdoing, which is clearly the LG in this case. The Aam Aadmi Party that is trying to play victim card is actually the culprit. The CBI has come in as investigator. Now, if this is a battlefront which is open, let the investigation prove what they have done and how they have usurped crores and crores of rupees which belongs to the taxpayer. And if this kind of corruption under the garb of so-called being an honest party is something they're not ashamed of, I think it is the voter of Delhi that will decide in the future. Having said that, for now, let the investigative agencies explore on all these avenues that have been brought to light by the original whistleblower, who is the LG in this particular case.
Okay, so it's a battle of whistleblowers. Please stay with me, both of you. Bhanu, you also. It's time for a short break. We'll be back and we'll find out who is the real whistleblower.
Ram's Ayodhya rebuilt. Ram Lala's Pran Pratishtha. Countdown to January 22nd. Dateline Ayodhya. Catch the mega coverage only on News9 Live.
It was my 14th birthday.
On birthday, daughter waits
for missing father. He was carrying a cake for his daughter. 49-year-old Birmingham-based
Indian diplomat vanishes.
He was grabbed and bundled into a car by 4 assailants.
KLA claims responsibility for Kashmiri separatists.
Maqbool Bhatt's release.
Goli maro, aur phek do.
And within 3 days, they shot him dead.
Abducted diplomat.
Found murdered in Leicestershire.
I said, who ordered to kill him? To me, he said, yes, I ordered it.
And he never came home.
Stop searching. Start streaming. Download the world's first news OTT. News9 Plus. Ahead of the curve.
वर्ष 2070 तक भारत नेट जीरो का लक्ष्य हासिल करेगा.
There is certainly a wall of capital coming into the clean tech, climate tech space, not just in India but across the world.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
The scale of the attack was something that we were surprised at. David Hadley was a double agent. The Americans did not want him to be fully exposed, so all that he probably shared with the Americans was not shared with us in terms of intelligence. If we had that, I'm sure that we would have been able to deal with the situation far better.
This and more, streaming on world's first news OTT, News9 Plus. Download now.
Well, this is a unique, I would say, a point in the debate where both the parties have said that they are the whistleblowers. But before we decide who the real whistleblower in this issue is, let us listen into Sudhanshu Trivedi, the spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, as to what he has to say. Then I'm going to go to Bhanu.
ये जो तथाकथित मोहल्ला क्लिनिक थी, इसके अंदर इन्होंने जांच की व्यवस्था की थी, यानी पैथोलॉजिकल टेस्टिंग की। अब जो विजिलेंस की रिपोर्ट्स आई हैं और जो विभागीय फाइंडिंग्स हैं, उसके आधार के ऊपर वो जांचें भी अब पूरी तरीके से आंच के घेरे में आ गई हैं। इस प्रकार के फैक्ट्स सामने आए हैं कि जो उनकी तथाकथित मोहल्ला क्लिनिक थी, सर्वप्रथम तो हम कहना चाहेंगे कि स्वतंत्रता के अमृत काल में आने के बाद भी देश की राष्ट्रीय राजधानी में सुपर स्पेशलिटी का कोई इंस्टीट्यूट या ऐसी कोई व्यवस्था या ऐसी कोई लैब बनाने के बजाय मोहल्ला क्लिनिक तक ही सोच सीमित थी, जो 75 वर्ष पूर्व भी थी। परंतु उसमें भी क्या हुआ, मीडिया में भी ऐसी रिपोर्ट्स हैं, कई स्वयंसेवी संगठनों ने भी इस विषय के ऊपर ध्यान आकर्षित किया था और जांच में भी आया कि एक दिन में 500 पेशेंट देखे गए हैं। अधिकतम संख्या 533 है, जबकि जो औपचारिक समय है मोहल्ला क्लिनिक का वो सुबह 9 बजे से 1 बजे तक है। अब आप इमेजिन करिए कि 9 बजे से 1 बजे तक 4 घंटे में कितने मिनट हुए, 240। और अगर 240 मिनट में किसी ने 533 पेशेंट देख लिए, इसका मतलब आधे मिनट में एक पेशेंट देख लिया, जिसमें एक पेशेंट का आना जाना, डॉक्टर का उसकी बात सुनना, असेसमेंट करना, जांच का पर्चा लिखना। महोदय, मैं कहना चाहता हूं कि जब त्योहारों के दिनों में बड़ी भीड़ होती है ना, तो आप जाते तो मंदिर में बड़ी भीड़ होती है, इतने सेकंड्स में तो व्यक्ति उस धक्का मुक्की में दर्शन भी नहीं कर पाता है जितने में आपके डॉक्टर ने उसके दर्शन करके रोग को समझकर रोग का निदान समाधान सब लिख दिया। यह है ईमानदारी का नया किरदार। और टेक्निकली मैं पूछना चाहता हूं, यह वो सरकार है ना जिसने कहा था कि हम सीसीटीवी का पूरा जाल बिछा देंगे दिल्ली में, तो मोहल्ला क्लिनिक्स में सीसीटीवी है कि नहीं? और अगर हैं तो उन मोहल्ला क्लिनिक में उस डेट की सीसीटीवी फुटेज दिखाइए कि 533 लोग कहां लाइन लगाए हुए थे, क्योंकि मोहल्ला क्लिनिक तो छोटी छोटी स्पेसेस में है ना। तो 533 लोग अगर आए तो सीसीटीवी फुटेज में होना चाहिए ना। बस यही सब चीजें हैं जिसकी वजह से जांच की आंच से घबरा रहे हैं।
So let me go across to Bhanu. Bhanu, so who is the whistleblower? Now both the parties contest that they are the whistleblower.
Yeah, so see, I think this whole episode is sort of an indictment of the Delhi governance model. Just bear with me, I'll explain how. See, Delhi government is more like a Keynesian spend a lot expenditure sort of a model rather than the delivery of a governance model. So that's where I think Delhi government's, philosophical point of governance stands. And I think, and because of that, there are going to be more such scams or more such inquiries that are going to be unearthed. We saw that with the liquor policy, where there was a procurement problem, and then there's a quality of product problem with the medicine, Now there are ghost patients. See, all of this is because when you run a big government, you have to run it very carefully in an involved manner, the use of technology and monitor it and all of that. Okay, unless you do that, there are going to be a plethora of scams like this that are going to come out. And if the model that the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is employing, like calling themselves whistleblowers of their own program, then I think Kejriwal has to procure a lot of whistles as well. I hope there are no scams in that. So, I mean, jokes apart, I think, see, this idea is a very good one. See, the Mohalla Clinic, the starting of these clinics in JJ clusters in slums, offering a last mile healthcare service delivery is a good thing. But I think they should focus on service delivery and like be more involved in the governance and not allow a lackadaisical governance or a corrupt governance to hijack such good programs.
So, Brijesh, the point is it a critique of the Delhi's governance model, as Bhanu was saying?
I think, I have to give the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson some latitude, when he says that, when you are implementing a scheme of this magnitude, there's always discrepancies. There's the report which he was pointing towards, thousands of one Aadhaar card number was used in several thousands of accounts. We have seen how it happens in many states, when one particular phone number is used several times and all. The interesting thing would be whether the investigation which has been ordered by the LG will only limit itself to Aam Aadmi Party, or will it extend beyond and will also factor in all those officials who are found involved? Because Delhi is a unique case. But Delhi is a unique scam. Delhi is not a state. Delhi is not a state. Nobody.
It's a unique state.
It's a unique state in the sense that the officers, like we've seen how 5 judges constitutional bench has delivered a verdict. We saw what happened over the appointment of the chief secretary. We see how it pans out. Because the bureaucrats also know which side had the most power. We see how it pans out. So that aspect has also to be handled, because you can't say that that it is the health minister.
I think Bhanu wants to come in, and then I would like to go to Mr. Sharma. Is it a critique of your governance model, as Bhanu was saying, and then Bhanu you can come in. Mr. Sharma.
Yeah, well, I think Mohalla Clinic is a certification of what Aam Aadmi Party's universal healthcare model is. I think the viewers of News9 are intelligent enough to just on internet online search the life expectancy of India in different states, and Delhi is at 75 years. If you live next to Delhi in Noida, it is only 66 years. So 9 years increase if you live in Delhi. So that itself is a certificate of how good this model is running. Having said that, this model is running. But of course, when it's like a student who is giving an examination. If he is attempting a question paper of 100 marks, he's not going to get 100 marks. He might get 90. And he will have to work for those 10 marks that he did not get. And this is a classic case where a parent, here in this case, the parent being the health minister of Delhi, found out certain discrepancies and asked the appointing authority, that is the LG, that is the central government, to take action against those people who are derelicting duty. And those actions have not yet been taken. It is as simple as that. This makes it very clear.
Okay, Bhanu, you wanted to say something? Fair enough, sir. Fair enough. Bhanu, you wanted to say something? Yes.
See, the thing is, the excuse of this catering to a large number of people and hence these discrepancies are okay is not a valid argument at all. See, there is a flaw in program design. We know that there are so many people that are going to access this service. So the way this has to be done is what is the best way to make it more efficient and deliver the service? Because see, all the money for procurement of these tests and these tablets are coming from taxpayers. Okay, so this is actually indirectly corruption, right? So I think whichever state done it, like not just Mohalla Clinic, India is always going to be about scale. There are going to be millions of people accessing. So you design the program in such a way that incentivize private players in such a way that they provide service delivery and also get their profit. Or if you're going to do it by yourself, then make sure that you have the best people running it and take care of the nitty-gritties. It's not about just hawabazi, going on TV and opening something on and getting yourself published in New York Times and Washington Post. It's not about that. This is last-minute delivery, and they have to take it seriously.
No, seriously and all is all right. But Bhanu, the thing is, the point is that, nobody is defending anybody. But the bigger point is that, but these kind of things happens in every state. The point is that, when we try to, box a party in a corner. I'm being very, honest and frank. People can like, sugarcoat it while saying it. The biggest problem is that when you ask about the LG, or the LG asks for CBI inquiry, does that inquiry also entail central government officers? Because it cannot be handiwork of only Aam Aadmi Party officers. If they are guilty, they should be booked and prosecuted. But does the same apply to the central government officers and also officers who are in charge of that? Shouldn't that
Absolutely,
be
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, see, this is public money, right? Like, there's no central state or anything like that. See, Aam Aadmi Party is now, if the program was running well, they will be the first people to take credit. Right now, they're washing their hands off and saying that, we are the whistleblowers.
Every political party. It happens with every political party, Politicians rush to take credit first when the scheme is working.
You're talking about political party.
They are never there to claim discredit.
Mr. Sharma, I'll come to you. We need to take a. Mr. Sharma, I'll come to you. I just need to take a relationship status check.
Anywhere else in India.
Oh, this debate also needs a relationship status check. Bhanu, from morning, where is Congress party?
Yeah.
I mean to say, there was a chief minister for 15 years from the Congress party. And after Aam Aadmi came to party, Bharatiya Janata Party has not come to power.
And especially, after Bhagwan Man's tweet, ek thi Congress.
So what has happened to the Congress party? I would say in that, it's nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, they should be, highlighting this, and perhaps, they are already feeling that.
I think Mr. Sharma, Mr. Sharma will be able to answer it. Do you think, Mr. Sharma, Congress is solidly standing behind Aam Aadmi Party on this issue?
Following the Dharma of India coalition?
I think it's like a IPL match versus India playing South Africa on a Saturday. Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma play for different teams against each other, and on a Monday they play together as a team against some other team. So I think the people of India are wise enough.
Today they are playing for the same team, sir.
The Lok Sabha elections, Team India is
right now. Today we speaking today.
Is also part of Team India.
No, Aam Aadmi Party is for the Team India. I'm saying, is the Congress Party standing solidly behind you, sir, on this issue?
I think it's not about a party standing behind anyone. The model of Mohalla Clinic, I'll try to, just because somebody just before me said that I tried to wash away my hands. In fact, I said that we are proud of this, that in Mohalla Clinic, the life expectancy of Delhi because of the Mohalla Clinic model today is 75 years, whereas adjacent to Delhi, if you live in Noida, it is 66 years. That itself proves that Mohalla Clinic is a good model. So it's not about Congress supporting Aam Aadmi Party or not. Aam Aadmi Party is today hell-bent upon totally covenant-bound to serve the people of Delhi and serve the people of Punjab, wherein these are the two states where we have a mandate and we are trying to do that. It is as simple as that.
So, bottom line is, before I close the show, do you feel that when it comes to Delhi, the corruption will be an issue? Will it be an electoral issue? Because I don't think anything has changed in the last 3-4 years.
Well, I think, the thing is that BJP has gotten better of most of the opposition parties, but, Delhi has been a constant thorn in the side, because they have never been able to upstage Aam Aadmi Party, and they fight, their guerrilla tactics has worked wonderfully for them. So it's a very clear divided election. When it comes to assembly, it is all for Aam Aadmi Party, and when it comes to Lok Sabha, it is always for Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I think, the post-liquor scam, the BJP feels that, if they are able to take away the sheen of anti-corruption crusaders which the Aam Aadmi Party has assiduously built over the year, they will be able to electorally dent Aam Aadmi Party, and that is the reason why, there is a renewed vigor and a renewed
Bhanu, do you think that, this whole fight in terms of investigation is ultimately about robbing that sheen of anti-corruption crusade from Aam Aadmi Party? I'm not being presumptuous I'm not giving clean chit to anyone.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously there is a political angle to it, so can't deny that. But I think this is come from the constitutional office of the Lieutenant Governor. So let the investigation proceed, and we'll see where it goes. one quick thing is, I found it really funny that Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson said that life expectancy of Noida, I don't know how that area alone is calculated or which report it comes in, and also like how he attributes like life expectancy of Delhi to Mohalla Clinic.
Slightly longer life expectancy anyway, because I live very close to river Yamuna. So I think I should not be in that 60s range. I'm sure that I'll be touching 70s, Manu, you know. So, क्योंकि मैं पास रहता हूँ दिल्ली के. So before we close the show, I'm going to play out the bite of the Health Minister of Delhi, a different one, defending the stand of his party.
20 सितंबर को मैंने ही अपने सेक्रेटेरिएट के अंदर प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस करके बताया कि कुछ मोहल्ला क्लिनिक्स के डॉक्टरों के विषय में शिकायत आई थी कि वो मोहल्ला क्लिनिक में लेट आते हैं या जल्दी चले जाते हैं, और मोहल्ला क्लिनिक के अंदर अटेंडेंस का जो सिस्टम है, देखिए जनरली सरकार के अंदर तो अटेंडेंस का सिस्टम सिर्फ साइन का होता है, साइन कर दिए आप आए. मोहल्ला क्लिनिक में इससे ज्यादा बड़ा सिस्टम लगाया गया था कि डॉक्टर आएगा, अपना वीडियो बना के आईज को ब्लिंक करेगा और वो उसकी एंट्री रिकॉर्ड होगी, और उसी तरीके से मोहल्ला क्लिनिक से जब जाएगा तो आंखों को ब्लिंक करेगा तो वो उसकी एग्जिट रिकॉर्ड होगी. ये हमने सोचा कि भाई एक बेहतर सिस्टम हो सकता है. साइन वाइन तो पता नहीं कौन कब कर दे. मोहल्ला क्लिनिक अपने
So the Mohalla Clinic scam or the alleged scam, I don't think it's going to end, but I think it sets the template for the way politics in Delhi will be played out. Like in many states, it's on caste, in many states, on the issue of culture. There are many states, it's in the issue of community and reservation. But in Delhi, it's going to be on the issue of corruption. Because that is one state BJP has not been able to get a handle on, as Brijesh was saying, because after 1998, Congress was in power for 15 years, and now Aam Aadmi Party is in power for more than a decade now. And I think that's the real issue, that, you know, you can have a status throughout the country, but if Delhi eludes you, you know, it's like missing the cherry on the cake. But since I spoke the word community, let me talk about a very nice documentary made by my sister concern, News9 Plus. The Maratha community in Maharashtra wants to be included in the OBC list. There are multiple communities who want to be part of it, but Marathas are a dominant community, and they have set the deadline. Now, issue is, you can have deadline of today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but is agitation likely to change the political discourse in the most industrialized Indian state? Take a look.
Those who are economically backwards from any community should be given, you can say, that kind of a, you can say, reservation. Not everybody.
This all is bluff, all is nonsense. After 2nd January, I doubt there may be a violence. You are taking Maratha for granted.
The government is confident that they'll be able to give the reservation to the Marathas in Maharashtra.
The Marathas constitute around 35% of Maharashtra's 15 crore inhabitants. The demand for reservation for the community was first raised